Hey everybody and welcome to the Bullsheep party. And in this one we're gonna be reviewing the new Podium vehicle.
Looking for a Vapid.
Hey Bullsheep, you already did that joke. Unsubscribed. No, whatever, I don't care anymore. And as we start our 360 around the vehicle, you're probably asking yourself, why does Bullsheep sound different today? Well, Bullsheep kinda broke his mic stand. And I don't know why Bullsheep keeps referring to himself in the third person, but it is what it is. And to answer your question, Timmy, yes, that's what happens when you don't subscribe. So please go and subscribe. Because going handheld for this kinda sucks. I feel like a stand-up comedian. That sucks. What's the deal with dry cleaners? Nah, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do impressions anymore. Clearly I'm not talented at it. But anyway, back to the Podium vehicle. And this is basically the level of interactivity you can expect. You can open both doors and crickets. And I know I forgot to say it at the beginning, but this week's Podium vehicle is the Untitled RE-7B. And its real-world inspiration is some Nissan and some Mazda and some other car that I can't really pronounce. And in case you're curious, yes, it was released way back in 2016. But more on that later. Now we're done with the exterior, so let's see what the interior looks like, and more importantly, what does the car sound like? Okay, so the interior is very basic and bare. And I'm not gonna lie, I've heard better sounding cars. So you could definitely say that the Enus RE-7B or whatever it's called has an uphill battle in this episode. And speaking of, I just wanted to point out that it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle. And yes, Timmy, this is the part where you're supposed to be amazed by my scientific knowledge. And with all that science out of the way, it's time to get to Los Santos Customs and see what we can customize on them. And on our way there, I'm gonna be more than happy to share with you my initial thoughts of this vehicle. And just to clarify, in case you skipped the beginning, which you shouldn't, this is this week's Lucky Wheel Podium vehicle, so I got it from the Lucky Wheel, and basically saved about $2.5 million, which is the usual sell price of it. And I gotta say, so far my impressions are very favorable. Even though this is a 2016 vehicle and it's the basic one, I can definitely see that it has good top speed, good acceleration, great braking and incredible handling. And I can definitely see why this vehicle cost $2.5 million, especially back in 2016. And one cool detail that I wanted to mention are the tail lights, and more specifically the brake lights. They have this awesome, almost Formula 1 vibe that I really like. And as for the stunt, completed it. Of course I did. And the weird thing is that even though I crashed a lot throughout this run, as you'll see in a second when we get into Los Santos Customs, you know what? Just watch the video. And here we are in Los Santos Customs, and the weird thing is that I didn't get charged to repair the vehicle this time, even though I clearly crashed it on several occasions. And in case you're wondering what the sell price of this one is, it's surprisingly high. It's $22,000. Well, $22,800. And as always, the first thing we're gonna do is of course upgrade all the performance options up front. This way nothing gets forgotten at the end, and I'm gonna be able to sleep knowing that I didn't forget anything for the video. And my oh my, that was fast. Doesn't look like we're gonna have a lot of customization here. Okay, so with that taken care of, let's go over the first customization option, which weirdly enough is the exhaust. And the exhaust does not have any impact on the performance, which is alright, but you only have one option, which is not good. What's that? You want Adam Sandler back? Alright then! Yeah, but okay, I'm sorry to you, Adam Sandler fan. And let's see now, liveries. Do we want this one, or none? Let's go with none. And I do want to point out that since this is technically a race vehicle, it doesn't have a license plate on the rear, so that option's out the window. And another thing that I wanted to point out, that even though you can change the spoiler to a carbon one, it does absolutely nothing to the traction bar, so I basically just threw away $7,000. Right in the garbage, right over there next to Cyberpunk. And since we're building a more or less a race type vehicle, the lower the suspension the better. And I think the final customization option we have here is actually changing the wheels. Pretty sad, I know. And since I want this vehicle to look somewhat mean and good and actually distinctive, I decided to go with street wheels, and I gotta say I really like the Nebulas. I think they complement the overall look of the vehicle very well. And because I most of the time forget, I just wanted to make sure that this time I showed you guys what type of tire design options we had for this vehicle with these wheels. I'm sorry, I said I'm not gonna do impressions anymore. Clearly I did. And for the Adam Sandler fan out there, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself, but okay, I'm really sorry about that. And oh, what would you know, it's time to select the color for this week's podium vehicle. So, in case you don't know, every week I do a poll asking you guys, the viewers/subscribers, to tell me what color do you want me to make the vehicle in this video that you're watching right now. So, subscribe so you can participate in the polls in the future. But more importantly, this week we had an interesting poll. You guys got to choose between some colors and potato, and you guys chose correctly. You chose potato. So that's what we're gonna make this week's podium vehicle. We're gonna make it potato. What color is potato? And while I'm looking that up, listen to my best Adam Sandler impression. Shut up! I'm sorry, headphone users. What's the deal with headphone users? And I'm sorry to you, Jerry Seinfeld fan out there. I truly am. You know what? Holding the mic this way definitely gives me more energy. So I might do this again sometimes. Maybe. Or maybe, you know, not. But anyway, we've wasted enough time. Let's go back to talking about the podium vehicle. You know, the reason you probably tuned into this one. And I gotta say, with this color, it looks like Oh, Jerry, what's that? I thought you didn't curse. Yes, I did. I said What was that one comment that one guy left on that one video? Ah, yeah, that's the stuff. And to that very well-spoken gentleman, I can say the following thing. Fukaru is the tire design we're gonna go with. What? You know there's no cursing on the Bullsheep party channel? Even though my name kinda sounds like bull. And here we are finally outside. And look at the mobile. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. But in all seriousness, the color definitely isn't the best for it. But I do stand behind the rims. I think they look great. As for the way the vehicle sounds, it sounds exactly the same, so I'm not gonna even bother showing it. As for how it performs and handles, that's a different story altogether. Let me just get a quick disclaimer out of the way. The Bullsheep Party and the Bullsheep Party brand is in no way, shape or form a professional driver. If you're driving a real vehicle on the road, you need to obey the traffic laws in your country/state. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I can't drive and don't blame me for it. Okay, now with that out of the way, the vehicle drives great. Even though my driving doesn't really show it at the moment. And because you guys know that I don't like to look at charts, I don't know exactly where this car ranks in the sports class category. But I can definitely say it's one of the best overall vehicles that I've ever driven in the game. And I can definitely see people paying $2.5 million for it and being happy with it, even with its limited customization. So to answer the question in the beginning of the video, I think it's totally worth it, regardless if you're paying money for it, or even better if you're getting it for free. If you like playing GT Online, you owe it to yourself to get it. And if you do find yourself owning one, please don't make the same mistake I did and make it a different color. Cause as Jerry said earlier, it looks like you know what? You know what he said. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching! Please subscribe for more content. Check out the I can't do that anymore. Check out the Patreon if you want to see an extra video a week. Please subscribe to the channel once again. Thank you once again all for watching. And with all that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hey Adam, how are you doing? Da-ba-da-dee-dee.